Well, it's been a while since I've done any videos, so I thought I'd slide back into making some again, just with a walkthrough solve, because they're reasonably easy, and as pointed out before, there are some things that I could do to improve my solves. So, let's just grab a few scrambles from CS Timer and see what happens. I'll try to go slower this time, just so that it's easier for people to keep up, and I won't lose the scrambles this time, he says. And then later you're going to find out I've completely lost them. Okay, so this is a pre-made pair. So what I do here is I focus on what I can do with this pair. Now, this piece and these two pieces will make a 2-move block. And as there's a 2-move block, I feel like I really should concentrate on what I can do with that. But of course here, you see if I do this, that leaves this piece in quite an awkward position to be solved because it's in place, but it's twisted. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to do a B move right before, because that doesn't affect any of these pieces, and see if it ends up in a nice place, which I'm pretty sure it will. So, these two pieces, I would have done an E move, but this is probably faster. And there's your first block. Now, we have a line. Lines are not as helpful in second block, as I'm sure lots of people have figured out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just make another square, and then solve it as a pair. So I see this piece and this piece. If you do an M2, they pair up very nicely. And that leaves a normal insert. Well, it's not quite a normal insert. I line them up, and then I just undo the pair, because that leaves this case where the corner and the edge can be brought down with an R2 and solved using wide moves. Nice case for CMLL, fruff. And it will also lead to a nice CMLL case because it will disorient these two. And if I'm correct, because I don't actually know the permutation scheme for the edges of my CMLLs yet, though I probably should, if I just do a normal fruff, yes, it does. It leaves this corner, this edge here, and the other ULUR edge here, which means that they can easily be paired up just with a normal solve. So, here, instead of going RUR, where they're opposite, sorry, not RUR, M prime U M prime, I go M prime U prime M, because then they're on the bottom and the slots are open, which means I can insert them without having to pair them up after I do edge orientation. And standard 4C case to finish. So, that's the same solve. Oh dear, I am out of practice. Okay, second scramble. What do I see? There's already a pair here. So, well, I'm getting quite nice first blocks today. That's odd. So, if I move this pair down to here, it will solve into a 2-move block here. But at the same time, it also pairs these two up. So I actually end up with a very, very short first block, which I'm sure many of you could easily have found. Here, there's this piece, and this piece are the ones I want to focus on. I can see if I do an R prime, and then an R wide prime, and then an R prime, it will leave these two able to pair up quite nicely. And then while inserting this piece, these two are set up to a reasonable position. Can't skip, but it's not a bad case. Now, this one I've changed recently. So I believe it flips these two, which will lead us to a 4 flip. No, it doesn't. Oh well. I just won't say anything next time. We have these two. Now, one important thing in LSE I found is if you're not doing EOLR, you have to trust what your brain thinks, because after a while you'll naturally have a feeling that you'll be able to pair these two pieces up, even if you can't see straight away from the EO case. So, not quite, but these two are in a nice position for which I can put them into these two spots. Now, the reason I did that instead of, say, that was because I want to leave this piece between them, because that means that I'll get a nicer 4C case in general, because you can use it to skip 4C essentially, or just have an M2U2 4C. Keep replaying that if you don't quite get it, but in general it's nicer to leave a white piece, no sorry, a yellow piece between two white ULUR pieces if these two pieces here would be yellow as well, and vice versa. If these two are white and solved, it might be nicer just to add a white piece in between. So it's very important for those cases where you can't easily pair them up during EO to try and work out what center between ULUR would be nicest. So, for our final solve, oh, I've got another pair and another. Okay, don't watch this for first block tips. This is the easiest. I've got so many stupid first blocks this time, 3 in a row. Should have timed this, been quite nice. So, what can I see? I see pair there, so it's clear that I want to solve the red center. U prime, M2, U, B prime. Nope, just B. So, oh look, and it means that I have this case as well. So, R2, because I always want it to be here, and I want to insert this pair. So, if I do a U2, M2, that means I can just insert like that. And another stupid case. Wow. I really should have timed this solve. This would have been a great solve. I can see these two pieces easily match up and solved. Now here, normally you would do that, but that would leave two flipped edges. So I use the COLL for this case rather than the CMLL, because that means I can preserve all of the edge orientations. It's exactly the same, just with wide R moves. These two pieces here. Oh yeah, the other nice thing about that case, if I can do it right, is that it's a commutator. So it only affects the corners. The edges will remain exactly the same. So if I do that, the corners have moved, but the edges themselves are still in exactly the same position. What I can do here, M2, because I want to pair these up. Now, instead of doing this, because that won't pair them up, I'll do an M, U2, M prime, and that will leave them in their slots. And standard 4C case. Now, one other thing I want to address, this isn't cubing related directly. I am currently writing scripts and videos on everything I said I would, from SSC to combinatorics to a couple of other random things I just thought would be good to do or interesting to do. So they are coming, but I can't promise when. I'm going to Malaysia at the end of this week, so I will definitely be able to write all, well, I'll be able to write at least 2 of the scripts, I think, while I'm in Malaysia. And then I should be able to film them, but I can't guarantee about editing until after I come back. So I'll try to get one more video out this week, but then we'll have to see what happens after that. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you maybe not learned something, but I hope you found those solves interesting and they have applications which you might enjoy using in your own solves, because LSE especially is quite fun. But again, don't watch this for first blocks. Those first blocks were too easy. So, thanks for watching. See you guys later.